Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, there's people in here already. That's exciting. Hello. How are you all doing? Hello to Oscar Watt Vanders Gaming. Really named down. Time for my daily dose of Tardis. You make it sound like an addiction, in which case, yes, you should be. I kid, of course. You don't have to. But I appreciate you being here. I was mid-editing Tardis, but I cannot miss a Tardis stream, so here I am. See, that's the dedication we like to see. How's your day been, Tardis? Not too bad. Not too bad. 48 hours to go. Yep, it's getting really close now. It's getting really close now. I'm planning on doing a sort of pre-stream before the episode. I won't be streaming the episode as I'm watching it, mainly because of copyright concerns and stuff, etc., etc. But I will be doing maybe a pre-episode stream just to maybe go over my final hopes for the episode, final like theories, predictions. You know, it'll probably be the quickest age stream in human history, but that's a plan that I'm going to do. What's up, my dude? Not too much. We're just vibing out here. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you haven't already. I've been loving doing these streams. Also, obviously, as you all know, super chats are always available, but you know, it's not essential. Is Time of the Doctor thematically deep? You know my answer to that, Maddox. It's yes. It very much is. No Christmas special, apparently. We are going to get to that. That's why it says 60th speculation in the title. We are going to be discussing that at length. So don't you worry. But before we do, this actually just broke amidst me preparing the live stream. I say just broke, it was about like the last, like an hour or so ago. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm not messing up my list of items to talk about in this stream, because of course I like to prepare a little roster of content for you all. Yeah, this got announced shortly before I went live. We have, in fact, a competition. BBC 100, apply to be in your favourite BBC's programme. To say thank you to the audiences for being part of 100 years of the BBC broadcaster, the broadcaster is giving the fans a once-in-a-century opportunity to appear in their favourite BBC show. And of course, being an alien in Doctor Who is an option. And you can enter, and you might have a chance of being an alien in Doctor Who soon, I guess. So yeah, I applied. It's that link there on the TV Zone article. There's also the trailer for it, which I won't play because it's about a minute long, and I bet you they'll copyright strike me. But yeah, there it is, in all its glory. You know, there's other shows as well, but obviously for the purposes of this stream, Doctor Who is the one that we all want to be in. So yeah, I just thought that was a really cool little thing that they were doing before I started streaming. Just this competition thing. I thought that was really cool. Like the stream, yes, indeed, do that. Hi Therese, hi Noble Wolf, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well on this fine evening. Hi mate, can't wait till Sunday. I know it's so close now. Therese, my friend and I are watching Power of the Doctor. Very nice. I mean, I hope you don't mean now because otherwise you'd have time travelled. I'd like Mel to return. I mean, there has been rumours of it, but I haven't seen anything concrete yet. But yeah, getting into, I guess, the first item. I guess we should just, I guess I want to, actually, let's talk about the merchandise first, because there's a couple of things to go over. So, I was made aware of this through the account that you all may know called, Tardis Central. They have, made me aware of this, I retweeted it earlier. So, they made the announcement that Doctor Who Diamond Collection news. As previously announced, Forbidden Planet, in conjunction with Titan Merchandise, are releasing an official Doctor Who 60th Anniversary collection of merchandise. Some further details have now been given. The limited time collection will start with merchandise themed on the first Doctor, releasing in November 2022, with pre-orders starting Monday the 24th of October. Following this, the release schedule looked like this. So obviously, yeah, you got first Doctor in November, Second Doctor December, Third Doctor January, Fourth Doctor in February, Fifth and Sixth Doctors in March, Seventh Doctor in April, Eighth and more Doctors in May, Ninth in June, 10th and Meta Crisis Doctors in July, 11th and the Curator in August, and the 12th Doctor in September. And the collection will come to a close in October 2023 with merchandise themed on the 13 for Fugitive Doctors Item details to come soon. Some items will only be available at forbiddenplanet.com. So yeah, it's nice to see a big merchandise rollout on in terms of Doctor Who for the anniversary. I just thought that was really cool. What these diamond collections are going to actually involve, I've got no idea. But it's cool to see, nonetheless, that we're going to be getting a bunch of merchandise for the 60th. I was curious about how much like merch we were going to get, because obviously it's a big anniversary year. We got the specials. I'd hope that we got some figures based on the specials. They seem like a no-brainer, given that that like it's obviously they've already got the molds for half of the characters that we know of anyway. So tomorrow will be one day to go. It will, yes. Tomorrow will be one day to go. Is it just going to be figures or other stuff too? Judging by the fact that they've said it's a collection, and like their terminology makes me think it's going to be more than just figures, I assume. Yes, I just covered the TV Zone tweet, Reese. Yeah, you must have just missed it when you came in, but yeah, we did just cover that, which is a very cool opportunity for anyone who wants to enter. I entered because I thought it was cool. Yeah, next up on the merchandise pile, I guess I want to talk about this because this is the next official piece of merch that we should be looking forward to in the next couple of months. B&M have recently teased their latest, the releases of sets from Character Options, and obviously, if you look very, very closely in this shot here, you can see that it says the 13th Doctor, and you can also see in bubble wrap, I think some people have vaguely made out Davros bumps here. So people are saying maybe a classic Davros set and a 13th. I mean, we've seen, there was somewhere that leaked the Dark Coat 13 variant, so I would assume that's what that is. So yeah, that's very exciting. We've known that there's more sets coming later this year for quite some time now, so it's nice to have that officially be confirmed. And then again, B&M actually announced a competition at earlier today, which concluded at 4 p.m, saying about how they were going to basically give away some of their new sets to some lucky winners. And then they said, if you weren't lucky, it appears as though there's some new figures flying into the stores in a big blue box soon. When they land, we'll give some away. So yeah, look forward to, if you collect the B&M stuff, look forward to that. I definitely will get the 13th Doctor set, as well as probably the Davros, if it's a classic Davros. Because I'm a shill for Doctor Who, as you can see behind me. Yeah, and so that's been really cool. How's everyone doing in chat? Hello, Mr. Tharies. Hello! Mr. Tharies was my father's name. No. Someone's saying, have I seen something? Oh my god, just tomorrow then, it's time. What do you think, Tharies? I'm very... You know what? Like, obviously, it's possibly, not going to be perfect. I mean, what episode is? But I'm excited. I'm excited to just watch some new Doctor Who at this stage. I'm excited to see where it ends, because we know for a fact, I keep seeing people speculate that it's going to be, they're going to do a cut-off, like a cut to black for the ending, but we know that that's really not going to be the case, given that in literally every press release that's been given, there was one given to the Radio Times, obviously there was the official press launch thing at in London. Both of those versions of the episode have, stripped out the last 5-10 minutes. So, yeah, we're definitely going to get something at the end of this episode, but the real question is, what? What incarnation number are you on, Tharies? On your Tharies regenerations? I am not sure. But yeah, so that's going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes next. I am looking forward to seeing Ace back, just because Ace is like my favourite classic companion. Ages ago, I did an interview with Sophie Aldred, so yeah, I don't know, I'm just looking forward to sit down and watch some more Doctor Who, to be fair. Have you seen the old Doctor Who? Yes, I have seen the classic season Doctor Who. Obviously, I haven't watched all of it yet. That's something I still intend upon doing. I've watched a lot of classic Who, though. Yeah, my favourites probably include, I'm pretty basic. Happiness Patrol might be up there. Who would you like to see Jodie regenerate into? Honestly, I don't mind either way with either Ncuti or Tennant. if I had to put my money where my mouth was, I would say it's probably going to be Tennant, based on the sheer fact that he's what comes next, as well as the fact that Shooty was busy at the time they were filming. For obviously, if we presume that they filmed, a regeneration scene separately, Shooty has been very busy, basically the whole time. In fact, there was an interesting interview that I think I need to get up at some point. It was from Jodie Whittaker. I'm gonna see if I can get that up, actually. I know someone posted that. Speaking of how busy Shooty Gatwa was, I feel like that's a good segue. Give me one sec. I'm just going to find the tweet. It's from Bad Wolf, so I'm just going to... I know that they posted it, so I'm just... Oh yeah, there was also that video of 13 counting down her favourite moments. Yes, this was the one. Jodie on finding out about Shooty. I've seen this quote in parts, but this is the first time I read it in full, so Russell rang me and said, "Hello, darling, so I've got some news." And I was like, "Oh my god, please, can I have Shooty's number?" I rang him about 10 times, but because he's the busiest actor in the land, he was on the set of something else. He was really sweet and texted and said, "I'll ring you as soon as I wrap." I ended up speaking to him and he's so lovely. Unfortunately, now he gets loads of WhatsApps from me. So yeah, even during the time where he was officially cast, even during the time he was officially cast, he was busy on another set. So he seems very busy. So in all likelihood, given that Tennant is next and that Shooty's been very busy, it's probably going to be Tennant, but I don't mind either way. What's your favourite fake leak from Doctor Who history? Good question. Ooh, that's a good one. I think that is a really interesting question because there are a lot. I can't remember actually. There's so many that were faked. But I guess the cat in series 11 is always an iconic one. Percy the cat. I believe that was originally reported on Ace Creeper back in the day. That's probably up there. I also realised I forgot to change my webcam lighting settings so it's not as warm as I normally have it, so I hope that's not too distracting for anything. Just joined, if I missed anything decent. We've mainly just gone over the BBC competition to be in one of their programmes, including Doctor Who. We've also gone over the new B&M releases, as well as... What was the other thing we just went over? The Diamond collection of merchandise for 2023 has new information that's releasing through Forbidden Planet. There's also, actually, on the topic of merchandise, there is the company Warlord Games, who have previously made figurines for Doctor Who, have since decided to aren't renewing the license. So yeah, they won't be making Doctor Who stuff, I guess, from here onwards. From what I can tell, I've never really bought a Warlord Games Doctor Who product. I assume, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, judging by the merchandise Doctor Who site, it seems to be similar to Eaglemoss, where they're like sort of little diorama figures. They look quite cool, but yeah, I never personally got one of my own. But yeah, of course, it's always sad to see, a part of the merchandise go away. Yeah, I've never heard of them either. So it was weird to hear that they've no longer got the license. Yeah, that was a new bit of news. Hey Theris, what's your favourite joke? News. The rotters in chat have planked with you with. Oh, what you mean? Like what do you mean? Like when people have tried to give me a fake bit of news in an aid to like make me have a breakdown. I guess just, anytime they'll say that, like, some news has been dropped on Twitter that hasn't been, and I've just got to sort of frantically look like, is it from character? Yes. Just tuned in, what if the Master takes the Doctor's power and he regenerates into David Tennant? That's a possibility. That's one of the common theories I've seen. Also, thank you to Marco Bowers for the £1.79 super chat. Saying who is Jodie turning into because it's confusing me. Okay, so we don't know for 100%. It's going to be one of two options, Marco. Either it will be David Tennant, as he is filming the anniversary in 2023. We've seen filming footage of that. Or the alternative option is that it's Ncuti Gatwa, who is our next main Doctor. So it's either going to be a degeneration into Tenon or something to that effect, or Ncuti Gatwa. It will be one of those two. I'm not, not 100% either way. I wish I could tell you with definitive proof, but I do not work for the BBC, so I cannot tell you. But yeah, that's as far as I know. So I hope that helps. But thank you for the super chat as well. That's really appreciated. I love the bit as well in chat of just like everyone putting my name into like episodes. That's pretty good. Yeah. What were we talking about? Yeah, so there was the merchandise stuff, and then I guess we'll talk a bit about the interviews. So first off, we have let me just make sure my desktop audio levels are good. Yeah, I'm making sure they're not too loud, but I'm going to turn them up a little bit. We have BBC Radio Wales. Jodie Whittaker was recently on BBC Radio Wales with Carol Vorderman to Saturday at 11:30, so that would be last week. And she talks about, I believe, filming her last scenes as the Doctor, and Mandip Gill is alongside her. So I'm going to play that clip because I feel like I'd be all right, because it's a radio clip. I hope I am.
Is it quite emotional to know that you're handing on?
I was pathetic. Yeah, I was awful because the last shot, and it was kind of done as a one-er, and that'll make sense when you see it.
Yeah.
And we'd done a few takes, and there was.
So I'm assuming when she says one, like it was all done in one take, which is something we've heard before. The idea that the regeneration scene is going to all be done in one take, which I'm interested to see how that's pulled off. I believe, yeah, Jamie Magnus Stone is directing this one, isn't he? So I'm going to be interested to see how they pull that off.
It's like a kind of like look between everyone, like are we good? And I could sense that there was this feeling that they were about to say, yeah, that was it, and that was the take. So had they not said it was good, I'd ruined it because I was on the floor in pieces. I could sense that the end had come in, and I absolutely lost it.
Yeah, this kind of echoes, some of the stuff that we've heard from Jodie previously, talking about how she really struggled in that final scene. So yeah, I am wondering, what that final scene with Jodie and her regenerating is going to entail. Obviously, a while back we had the picture of her on the cliff top leak on iTunes, which if you haven't seen that, there's a previous live stream which covers that. So yeah, I'm really curious as to what, obviously I suppose for the main actor it'll be emotional regardless, leaving that part. But I'm wondering if there's any specific thing that she, made her emotional filming that final scene. Because, I know for, Pete Capaldi's final lines, for example, Doctor, I Let You Go, was kind of very symbolic of him, not only as the character, but as a fan, because he'd grown up with it for years, moving on from Doctor Who, moving on from the part. So I'm really interested to see what compelled, Jodie to feel a similar way, what her final words were and stuff.
And thinking about it, talking about it makes me very emotional, but I think it's just a compliment to what everyone gave us, the crew, what they gave to us as a job, and they welcomed us into this already made family. They've been shooting Doctor Who for however many seasons, however many doctors and companions, and they welcomed us.
Yeah, because that's another thing to point out. I think a lot of people think that it's always a completely new team when say for example Chris Chibnall comes in or Stephen Moffat comes in, but there are in fact some of them who've been there since 2005. Obviously there are new people who come and go naturally, but there are a good chunk of people, as far as I understand, who have been there since the show was revived. So yeah, it must be. I want to hear some of their stories, going through all the different eras and what they think. I think that'd be a really interesting thing.
And it was heartbreaking to leave, but only because it's been so incredible.
So yeah, there you go. There's the interview with Jodie and Mandip, or a snippet from it. Yeah, I assume you can listen to the full thing on the BBC Radio Wales website, I assume. But yeah, that was just a bit that I saw, so I thought I'd show you guys that. Okay, yeah, now we are just putting me into episode titles. I love, because, by the way, I don't know whether you can see this, but for me, right, so whenever I'm looking at the chat, my name is highlighted orange, so all I can see is just walls of orange. I mean, it kind of cuts off for you slightly, but I can just see walls of orange. It's kind of mad to look at. Deep Tharies, that sounds wrong. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, that was an interesting thing. And then we also had an interview with John Bishop on The One Show that I wanted to go over as well, talking about, his time on the show. And obviously, for those of you who didn't see The One Show, I mean, I didn't watch the full thing, but I saw it being shared around Twitter. the scene of him and Ian McKellen stepping out of an egg for the one show. The reasoning for that, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's funny nonetheless. But yeah, we've got this clip of John Bishop on the one show that Doctor Who Unreleased have provided. So let's give that a listen. Was that on a serious note? Could you guys hear the Jodie interview well enough? Right. Hello and bye. I guess I'm gonna watch later. No worries. Yeah, could you guys hear the clip? All right. We could hear it. Good. Okay. Cool. Alright, next clip. So yeah, John Bishop also did an interview on the One Show where he was asked about Doctor Who, so we're going to listen to that.
Now, John, I do want to quickly ask you, the subject of quizzes, as we were just talking about, there was actually a Doctor Who Mastermind special, 2005, a little bit before your time, but I've got a question about Doctor Who for you, because obviously it's Jodie Whittaker's final outing.
Was the Masterminds... No, I'm thinking of the Weakest Link special. No, that was... No, I'm thinking of a different special. Ignore me.
As the Doctor, coming up this Sunday, what was it like filming that last episode? Fans are dying to know.
Oh, it was, for me, it was emotional. It was the first time I'd ever been in anything where you're in a long-running series. I got extremely close to Jodie and Mandip, the wonderful people.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get claimed for this, actually. I might just have to stop and start it.
Be part of something that lasts beyond you. I mean, Ian's done it before. A lot of other people have done it. But as a comedian, you're kind of topical. You say your joke and it goes and it moves on.
I'm just hoping that I don't get claimed. But yeah, it's interesting hearing John Bishop's thoughts though, because he's normally a comedian, so he's not really done a long-running show before. So yeah, it's interesting hearing his perspective on that.
An experience that I just couldn't match.
And what would you say? So Doctor Who fans, all of a baddie. What's the most terrifying? A Dalek?
Dalek. I had to fight with the Dalek in one of the specials, the New Year's Eve special.
So I think what he's referring to there, weirdly they show a picture from Parting of the Ways for some reason, but what I assume he's referring to there is the scene where he runs around the Dalek when the Dalek is like, trying to kill him in Eve. I get what they were going for with that scene. I do think it's a little bit silly, but I mean, I guess John Bishop was having fun. But
for me, it was a childhood dream.
But is there a child inside it?
I just find this really funny as well. Ian McKellen trying his best to understand the internal mechanics of a Dalek.
No, it's not a child, there's a man inside it.
There's a man?
Yeah.
A small man?
No, he's an average-sized man, because they're average-sized Daleks. But when we rehearse, they don't sit...
What's all this?
Well, he rehearses as if he's a Dalek and go... So the whole rehearsal process, everything is dedicated to making it feel realistic.
This panto is going to be brilliant.
I mean...
Okay, yeah, so I think what they were promoting was... I'm not sure what the panto is called, but yeah, they were promoting a panto that they're doing together. And obviously, John Bishop was on Doctor Who recently, so naturally the topic of Doctor Who came up. That smile is going to haunt me. Which smile? John Bishop's or mine? Thanks. What are we going to do for the next 30 months if it's really true that the first 60th episode won't air until November? I really love your videos. I am going to talk about that in just a moment. So rest assured, I'm going to talk about that. We also had on Instagram, very recently actually, we had one of the crew members posting this shot, which was to signify, I guess, like rapping. And you can see as well, they're in that quarry area that has been known as well. Also, actually, whilst I'm here, let me find it. There was a new interview with Sophie Aldred on the Doctor Who website, and they also mentioned that Ace would actually be on the Tardis, because that's been something that obviously we haven't had confirmation of up to this point. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so they recently did an interview on the BBC website, and in there you can see she gets asked, what were your first impressions of getting stripped and what were you most excited about? To which she says, there's a particular thing that happens which I couldn't believe Chris put in, because it calls back something I did 30 years ago. To do that again was incredible. I'm assuming she's referring to hitting the Dalek with a baseball bat there. Would be my assumption. I was really lucky that I was a companion as I met Dalek, Cybermen and the Master. I was really excited to meet and be behind the scenes with Jodie and Mandip, and it was a thrill to be in the TARDIS. So yeah, it's looking like, obviously, I guess you could say that maybe it's just Sophie Aldred, but I don't know. I feel like it's pretty likely that Ace is going to be on the TARDIS again, which I think is just a really exciting prospect, as you all know. Ace is one of my favourite companions. Oh, we've just been going over a couple of different things, mainly just the BBC competition for appearing in one of their shows, including Doctor Who. You can appear in it as an alien next year. We've gone over the planned Forbidden Planet Diamond collection of merchandise for the 60th anniversary year. We've gone over the B&M stuff, which you won't be interested in. You won't be interested in, Stephen, so we won't talk about that. We've gone over some BBC radio. We've gone over some BBC interviews with Jodie Mandip and John, respectively. One of which is on BBC Radio, the other was on The One Show. And we've talked briefly about a recent interview with Sophie Aldred, who obviously plays Ace, talking about how she will be on the TARDIS for the centenary special, which isn't a major thing, but interesting. Also, Warlord Games, that was the other thing. They went out, they did not renew the license for Doctor Who products, which are essentially they're like Eagle Moss. Oh, thank God. Did you enjoy the tissue compression prop replica review? I did. I very much enjoyed it. I am jealous of it, to be fair. Although I personally would have preferred it to have sounds. That's just me. But yeah, no, I am jealous of it because it is a really nice looking set. It's a really nice set. Not set. It's a really nice looking prop. I don't know why I said set. I guess it's just where my head was, I suppose. But yes, I really enjoyed that video. It was really good, as always. I particularly liked the scene with you and Anthony where you pretend to use it as a vape, and that's very funny. It's a very good tissue compression eliminate. But yes, what was next? I guess it's talking about 60th anniversary speculation next, right? Too many being upsets, lol, cheers man. No worries, yeah, I just thought you came in at the right time because we talked about that at the front end of the stream, so you don't have to listen to me talk about character. It's fine. And then, yeah, so finally, what the main thing I want to talk about was TARDIS Central. This is another post from them. So they posted Doctor Who 60th airing indication. Rachel Talano, director of the first special, has listed a virtual meet at charity auction to support the ACLU of Southern California. The description of her career on the audition page lists her as doing a special as airing in November 2023. So yeah, so a lot of people have taken this to sort of, definitive kind of proof that the 60th stuff won't begin till November 2023. And while I'm not going to completely negate that as a possibility, I doubt that for a few reasons. The main one being, they started filming these things so far in advance, incredibly far in advance, if they are indeed coming out in November 2023. In fact, I believe they started filming in July, I want to say. I think it was about July, wasn't it? July 2022 for release in November 2023. For 3 specials, that seems, incredibly unlikely. I mean, I wouldn't completely put it past them to have one, obviously. I think one obviously will release in November 2023 in conjunction with the anniversary. But as for the other 2, I could definitely see, some of them being spattered across the year rather than just dumping them all at once. Because that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Also, just beyond that, in terms of the website itself, it's an auction page. It could very easily have just been a guess from the page. People are taking this as confirmation. I know that Russell has said that, his stuff starts in November, but Russell has famously said one thing and done another. Just recently, a clip was uncovered of him talking about how, at the end of Still on Earth, I have no idea what's going to happen in the next episode. Oh, who's the new person going to be? And then it turned out to be David, of course, because he'd written it. So, yeah, I don't trust anything Russell T. Davies says, man. This is not me saying that, I'm definitely confirming, other dates for specials. I guess what I'm saying is, I'm not taking this as 100% confirmation that all the specials are airing in November. As I've seen some people doing, I just think it's a bit too early to make that judgment one way or the other. Obviously, in terms of other 60th news, it's been pretty light on that, mainly because filming for those wrapped, I believe, a while ago, or it seems like they wrapped a while ago. But we did have, in the previous stream, I think we spoke about the guy playing we don't really know what the character is, but something Bridges, which a lot of people were speculating had to do with the fact that the 60th, according to a lot of people, has the code name of the Bridge, which in itself is an interesting thing because, you know, is that a reference to the 60th acting as a bridge between where we are now and, you know, Series 14 and Ncuti Gatwa and that whole era? You know, that's a very interesting thing as well. But yeah, I wouldn't take this as 100% confirmation that everything's in November 2023 just yet. Obviously, I think we will find out soon enough. We know on November 9th there is the big issue of Doctor Who magazine to usher in the new era, which I don't doubt we'll get some info on the next, you know, upcoming few things, i.e. the 60th specials, maybe Series 14 in there, because they've said, you know, that's a big exclusive bumper issue to welcome in the new era. So I imagine soon enough we'll get some sort of confirmation. I mean, who knows? There may even be a tease in the centenary. I'm not holding my breath for that, but, you know, we can keep our fingers crossed. But all I'm saying is, you know, hold off before saying definitively, oh, it's all going to be in November, because I'm not 100%. You know, I could be wrong as well. You know, I know about as much as you do, but I'm just making educated guesses based on what we've seen thus far. So yeah. If it's multiple episodes, it's bound to start with a Christmas New Year special this year. That's what I think. That's what I think would make sense, yeah. I just don't see them all releasing in November 2023. I don't see why you would do that, but yeah. Unless we got confirmation at the end of the centenary, yeah, that's a possibility. At this point, right, I said this on Twitter earlier, I actually really like that we have no idea what we're going to see at the end of this episode, because not even the big media outlets have the full episode. It's been cut off by a few minutes for all of them. So there's definitely something at the end that we haven't seen, obviously with the regeneration, but is there going to be any more? We don't know. I'm expecting a coming soon trailer after Power of the Doctor that will tell us either way. If it just says coming soon, it's unlikely to be Christmas this year. That's true. If it's Christmas this year, they'll say it's Christmas this year, definitely. If they just say, yeah, like you say, if they just say coming soon or coming next year, we can pretty much rule out, you know, a release in the near future. But we'll know soon enough, one way or the other. Absolutely. They would not film this early until November. That's my kind of theory as well. It would be pretty weird. Also, there's about 160 of you watching right now. So if you are new and you're enjoying the content and my analysis of the news, feel free to subscribe if you're liking it. I always like to just talk a bit about, you know, the latest happenings within the Doctor Who land. So if you enjoy that, feel free. But I also want to talk very briefly, because obviously, as you guys know, there's been some speculation recently because as you know, the Doctor Who accounts have been counting down each regeneration, starting from obviously the first one with William Hartnell, or I guess in this case David Bradley, as they've used his footage in their little compilation, which then transitions into Hartnell's. But in terms of, yeah, they've been counting down all the regenerations, and somewhat interestingly, yesterday when they put up their tweet for the 10th Doctor, you'll notice it has since been deleted. You've got the Time of the Doctor one here, which, by the way, best regeneration story, at least of the revival, don't at me. And then you've got all these posts, and then it just, there's no 10 to 11 one, which there was, but it got deleted. Now, my main theory for this, I've seen some people speculate that the reason they've taken it down from Twitter is because there might be a new Tennant regeneration in a couple days. And, while I still think that's probably what's going to happen, I don't think the fact that they've deleted this tweet is confirmation of that necessarily, given the fact that the YouTube video of Ten's regeneration is still up, and I believe the Instagram post is. What I assume happened was that the caption of the tweet was, "I don't want to go," and literally sort of a couple hours before they tweeted that out, Liz Truss resigned as a member of the Tory party, and everyone sort of called out how funny that tweet was. So that, to me, I think is the reason they deleted it. Although, with that being said, it is odd that it wasn't deleted on any other social media. If that was the case, you'd think it would be an across-the-board decision. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily confirmation of anything in itself, although I don't know whether I mentioned this in a previous video, but I thought, you know what, might as well. Where did you get your Cyberman head? It's awesome. Actually, it was Facebook. I found someone on Facebook Marketplace who had the blueprints of them and basically just makes them out of the original material. So it's a reproduction, but it's made out of the material they use. So to be clear, they deleted the tweet basically saying, oh, you know, I don't want to go, the 10th Doctor's regeneration is up. But, like, the quote, I don't want to go, yeah, that is still up, the weird little frame of his... David is still on Twitter, but what I'm specifically referring to is... Hold on. So, obviously, what I mean is, just to clarify what I mean here, this tweet is still up, right? The I don't want to go one from yesterday, that's still up. But what I'm referring to is, you see how Time of the Doctor gets this little video here saying, I will always remember when the Doctor was me, the 11th Doctor regenerates. You look for a 10th Doctor one of that video in particular, and it's not there. You've got the 9th to 10th, but not 10th to 11th. So my only assumption is that it was done just because of poor timing, although the fact they didn't repost it after the fact was odd, I must say. So yeah, I don't think it really means anything, but it is a little oddity on the account nonetheless. Yeah, but they kept the quote. I'm assuming because the quote happened later on, so that's why they felt it was okay to keep that one up. Has anyone noticed there are no door handles and a few other odd details on the TARDIS, which says ha ha ha? Yeah, there are a couple of odd details. I haven't noticed the no door handles thing, but I did notice the key slot, that's all blue rather than, I think it's normally like a silver. So I think that's because it's the Master's TARDIS. That's my theory at the moment anyway, is that it's the Master's TARDIS. But I wanted to talk about something else. I can't remember what it was. There was something else. Yeah, there was also, I probably can't show it, but people were speculating, because obviously the final episode of the era is coming out very shortly. Well, I say very shortly, 2 days now, almost one, which is kind of mad. People were speculating if they were going to do a challenge video, because for the last few episodes of this era, they've had like a little challenge video to accompany it. And they didn't do that, but they did instead do basically Jodie Whittaker counting down some of like her 13 favourite moments as the Doctor. So that's an interesting watch. Yeah, it's just another interesting thing that they posted to point it out. It's really weird how after like all this time, you know, the Twitter accounts have just been going ham with all these different posts. Not that I'm complaining. But yeah. But yeah, that's about all the news I have. Sacha Dhawan interview. There was something of him on TikTok, actually. I'll see if I can find that. Because I know there was the Radio Times one, which I think is just based off of stuff we've already read. So I don't want to reiterate that to you guys too much. Let me see if I can find the one on TikTok. Sacha Dhawan. Because I've seen that clip floating about. Where is it? That's so annoying. I probably should have saved it. If anyone has a link, feel free. But I do not currently. But I'll have a look through, see if I can find it. If I can't, maybe I look up Sacha Dhawan interview. I know it was on TikTok. It was when they were at the Power of the Doctor premiere. I can't find it. That's annoying. That's very frustrating, actually. If anyone has a link to that, feel free to send it to me over DM. But yeah, I can't quite find that. iTunes just released the full episode 100%. Well, I don't believe you. I mean, if they did, that would be all over Twitter, right, surely? Do you reckon the Doctor will ever go Translator again? I mean, do they need to? Like, for all intents and purposes, that served the Translator arc. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I'm not sure what the reasoning would be, I guess. Yeah, no, I can't find that clip of Sasha, annoyingly. There was also just this tweet from them fairly recently at 8 p.m. going over, just time is swirling around here, another generic quote with images we have seen so that you're not missing anything there. Theories of the Doctor, yes. That's what they should have called it. The regeneration is, yeah, that is pretty cool. How do you know David Tennant is in the special? I don't 100%. It's just an educated guess on my front. I mean, it's just a pretty solid guess given what we've seen with the 60th filming. Do. Leaks of the Doctor. Nice. So Clara jumps in the Doctor time through noticeable past Doctors, obviously, we know outside of Universe Y. So did the timeline change, and therefore the Doctor won't go to Translore anymore? I don't know. Is my honest answer. I have no idea. That's really annoying me that I can't find that Sacha Dhawan clip now. Has anyone retweeted it, perhaps? Because I'm struggling to see it. Hold on. Yeah, no, I can't find it. That's really annoying. So let me know what you think about what I've said above. Let me have a look. Sorry, the chat goes quite quick. I think we'll get an episode with David as soon as New Year's Day. Yeah, possibly. With rumors of there being a companion support group, do you think we'll hear about Sarah Jane? That'd be nice. I mean, I don't know whether it'll come up, because we've all, because it's weird, because they have kind of retconned Farewell Sarah Jane with the whole, because it's looking like, according to a lot of the profiles, because on the Instagram, in their Instagram stories, they've been releasing profiles of each character. It's been implied that Tegan was married multiple times since leaving the Doctor, kind of implying that the whole Tegan and Nyssa ship thing that Russell T Davies introduced in Farewell Sarah Jane, is no longer canon. Someone said, great marketing for an episode that comes out in 2 days. To be honest, I don't think the recent stuff is that bad. I just wish that it happened sooner. I think the stuff that's been going on now is fine. It's just that it kind of was really late in the game. But I don't really hate what they're doing now, to be fair. Do you think K9 will appear in Power of the Doctor? Possibly, yeah. I mean, again, in Farewell Sarah Jane, he was left with Ace. So if they were following that, that would kind of imply that you would see him. But again, it doesn't seem like they are, so I'm not 100% convinced. Also, there's 164 of you watching right now, so do me a favor, get us to 100 likes. We're at 78 right now. It just really helps out the algorithm and stuff. And also subscribe if you are indeed new. The marketing has been doing, the marketing Tardis has been doing is great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a whole lot. Let me just have a look. So it's posted interviews on Twitter. Wait, can you send me a DM on Twitter by any chance? Are you on about the Power of the Doctor interview with Sasha? Hold on. That's interesting, because I want to cover it now, because it's going to annoy me. Because the streamers are going to feel like I've done everything until, I cover it. Yes, alright. What's your @ on Twitter, Kian? So I know. Live streaming again, Tardis? Naturally I am. There's been a couple of things to go over. Mainly, a couple of smaller stories that I thought I'd go over, and then we're vibing. Honestly feel like YouTubers are doing better pressure than the marketing team. I mean, I think the stuff they're doing now is perfectly fine. I just wish that it had been a bit earlier. Cheeky free advertisement on the BBC side, though. I mean, yeah, we all get something out of it. They get advertisement for their show. I get to talk into a microphone and vaguely call it a job. It's a win-win scenario, speaking of which, if you'd like to super chat, obviously it's not essential, but feel free if you would like to. It does help out the channel significantly. Doo-doo-doo. Everybody wins, Rose, exactly. Do you think Davros will appear in one of the 60th anniversary specials? I mean, there's not really been any evidence to imply that there would be, although I wouldn't be opposed to it if he did. I just haven't really heard anything to imply that he would, but I'm not against the idea if he did, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just... Oh, the Doctor Who TV one, yes. I was thinking of one on TikTok, but thank you for adding me in that anyway, Keaton, thank you. I saw one on TikTok, but I can't find it now. But thank you anyway, I appreciate that. Because most of that is just in the BBC press release that we covered the other week. Thank you to Hugs Media for the £2 super chat saying, in it, I agree. I agree indeed. Thank you for the £2, Hugs Media, appreciate that. I'm surprised Chibnall hasn't brought back Davros. I mean, yeah, I was kind of expecting maybe something with, like, Revolution, because, like, I know that, like, obviously that episode was going to feature, like, human-made Daleks, so it kind of... I always kind of thought, well, maybe introduce the creator of the original Daleks as, like, a means of conflict, and obviously he appeared in the original Dalek Civil War story, obviously, Remembrance. I mean, technically, you can kind of call, you know, Resurrection and Revelation part of that Dalek Civil War trilogy, but he appears in both of those as well, so my point still stands. But yeah, that didn't happen, which I'm kind of surprised by. I was kind of expecting him to. But yeah, what can you do? Davros has been done too much. I kind of agree, but then equally, has he? Because, like, I feel like the Master is way more overdone. I feel like the Master's been way more overdone. Thank you, Kian. Thanks for that. In Revolution, the government was the Davros. Because, like, thinking about it, Davros was only done in Stolen Earth Journey's End, and in terms of the revival I'm talking about now, he's only been done in Stolen Earth Journey's End and the Series 9 one, right? That's not that much, really. I know, obviously, in Classic Who, he was in almost, you know, like, every Dalek story post his introduction in Genesis, because he was in Genesis, Destiny, Resurrection, Revelation, and Remembrance. So he's done a lot of the Classic Who ones, but in terms of New Who, he's kind of not really been that much of an entity. So I wouldn't really be opposed to him coming back, to be honest. Series 9 Davros was younger with younger than the 4th series Davros. I know that, like, they show young Davros. I don't know whether the older version of Davros in that episode is meant to be younger than the one we see in Stolen Earth Journey's End. But yeah, we do see child Davros then as well. That is true. The Master kind of has a reason to come back all the time, being the Doctor's greatest enemy. I think the Daleks would have nothing to say about that, to be fair. But no, I kind of get why the Master comes back, but all I'm saying is, I do agree we need some new enemies, but, you know, all I'm saying is, I think that Davros has been less overused than the Master, is what I would say, in my personal opinion. But I think that's actually going to wrap up this stream. I didn't want us to be streaming for too long, but I do appreciate you all for tuning in. I want to thank you all for obviously watching, but I think I'm going to head out, feeling quite tired. But thank you all, as always, for streaming. For watching the stream. I'm the one doing the streaming. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'm going to see you in a bit. I'll see you in tomorrow, probably, to do a last maybe stream before Power of the Doctor. I don't know, we'll see. But thank you all for watching. Not long after the new year. It is not. It's really weird. Have a good weekend. Will do. You'll see me loads on Sunday anyway for Power of the Doctor, so make sure you tune into all that. And I'll see you again very soon. Take care, and goodbye for now.